Hello, everyone. Welcome to Queen Avon's Underrated Podcast. This is episode 7. I am Queen Avon. I just want you to know that the motivation and the motto for me doing the Underrated Podcast is just to make sure that everyone is basically getting credit when credit is due. I want to make sure that the people that are responsible for doing things in the community or just giving back to the community or like I guess more self-entrepreneurs, I want them to be able to, just get credit for what they do, because a lot of people and a lot of us don't know how we can help each other. So today on episode 7, I have with me Miss Lena Riley.
Hi.
And she actually is, I've had her husband here last week, and they are the owners of Legacy Pizza, LLC. They also do a couple of other things. So, with that being said, I just want to introduce her, welcome her on my podcast today. She actually is, if you've looked at my past podcast, she is my number 1 first lady that I have on the podcast. So with that being said, she's special. Because I have had all men, so I'm just excited to be in the presence of another woman today. So just tell them a little bit about yourself. Where are you from?
Okay. So again, my name is Lena Riley. I am the other half of Blake's Pizza and Catering along with my husband, Quentin Riley. I am originated from, I was born in California. I actually grew up in Virginia Beach. And then I made my way here to North Carolina around when I was 14 years old.
Wait a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
What? I'm trying to put it together. Wait a minute, everybody. Wait a minute. Okay, so from California.
Yes, ma'am.
To Virginia.
Yes, ma'am.
And you came here?
Yes.
What?
Okay.
Please give me a reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little backstory. Okay, so my parents were married. My dad was in the Navy, so we were stationed out in California.
Okay.
And then, of course, things happened, and my mom and my family, like my grandmother and everybody, lives in Virginia.
Okay.
So my mom was like, "Well, I'm just gonna move back."
Right.
I had an older sister, and she was like going through some things at the time. So when I was around 14, my mom and my grandmother and them were like, "We don't want you to be around that.
Yeah.
So we're just going to move you to Durham."
Okay.
My aunt. So my aunt actually, her name is Martina Dunford. A lot of people know her as Coach D. She actually ran a actual program where it helps kids who were out of school for 365 days, who were suspended, who could not go to school, and who could not get their PhD, get their GED or anything. So she created a program. She's actually a pillar in Durham. A lot of people know her. She actually saves a lot of people's lives. So they just said, well, we're going to put you around someone who's going to put you on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
And exactly, she was strong in the church,
Right.
and she was just like, I'm not having it. Like, you're going to be successful. You're going to be a great person, so I'm going to put you on the right path. And so I lived with her up until I went to school. And I went to A&T. Shout out to Aggie Pride.
Okay.
I went to A&T, graduated from there in 2013. And then I met my husband when we worked at Creed together in Durham. And that's all she wrote. We moved down here. Yeah, that's how it is.
Okay, I was just nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with us, y'all. I just was wondering myself, because it's the little old Rocky Mountain, little old North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
We got big thing. I just would wonder. I probably want to be in California, but I mean, I'm just saying.
It's too hot out there.
Speaking of, it's hot today.
It's dry.
100 and some change. I don't know, but
yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, so that's how that happened. And I'm just grateful that happened. I'm grateful that my mom and my grandmother took that initiative to make sure that I lived with her. She changed my life. I love my aunt. She doesn't have any kids, but she's raised my sister. She raised me. She raised both my nephews. Actually, my sister passed away 6 years ago.
I'm sorry
from leukemia. Yeah. So so she just took in my nephews, and she's just been a great second mom.
She sounds like an awesome woman.
She is.
Shout out to Auntie.
So
she sounds like an awesome woman.
She's so strong. Yes, ma'am.
So I think our main focus that, us as women, we want to kind of focus on today, considering I do have my first lady up here.
Yes.
She brought it to my attention as far as women empowerment. So this segment is gonna kind of, basically be about that. because a lot of people, they need empowerment. And I mean, not just women, but it could be, could be men too, because, but at the end of the day, a lot of us need to know, our self-worth.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Exactly.
I'll let you,
Okay.
let you take it from here.
So yeah, just backing off of being raised by my aunt, like all my women in my family are strong women. They have taken life and just flew with it. My mom actually is a retired police officer. So I got strong women.
Yeah.
And just learning from how they took on life, how they took on life situations, and how they carry themselves. I just learned at a young age. I say, freshly out of college, where I was like, I need to know my self-worth. I need to show people, and people are not going to respect you until you show them how you want to be treated or how you want to be respected.
Absolutely right.
And I just went on with that because it's sad to see sometimes that women out here just feel as though that they have to be labeled or they have to just do what they're told or just fall into a certain role that society gives them. And that's not the case. And it's just really strong how I feel. My sister was a strong individual too. She, like I said, she died at a young age, but she definitely was one of my backbones too. So I just feel as though self-worth and knowing that you're able to take on and do whatever you're capable to do, you're able to just soar, you're able to do whatever you are set to do in life and nobody can hold you back.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
And while you're saying that, a lot of us, we just we don't push ourselves.
Exactly.
That's another thing too. And then sometimes you may not have someone to push you, but we don't push ourselves. Especially in anything, it could be business, it could be parenthood, and I mean it's a lot of things in general. But I want to speak on parenthood because it's a lot of moms, a lot of single parents, and it's a lot of parents that feel like that they have. When something happens, I don't know how to put it. When something happens, we all raise our kids the same way. You know what I'm saying? As a parent, you can have as many kids as you want, and you raise them all the same, but you can't determine what happens when they grow up. So you have a lot of people that's got things to say about it's women wise. Oh well, parenting this or parenting that.
Yeah.
So I mean, what is your take on that? Because that puts a lot of burden on a woman, and as a mom,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying, just when people got things to say when they don't even know what's going on, and that happens a lot, especially with us.
Yeah.
Just as far as them thinking that, okay, well, this won't right, or she didn't do this or she didn't do that, and that does a lot for a woman.
I say with that, first of all, both people say if you're a good parent out there and you raising your children how you're supposed to raise them at your best ability, then that's what you do.
Right.
My thing is, I just really focused on parenting. I learned from my mom a lot. She did work a lot, but she also made sure that we had the essentials in life, and she knew as well that we're young women. Like, it was just me and my sister.
Right.
And my sister was older than me at the time. She was 9 years older than me. So just making sure that you just put certain things into your kids. Now, I have a daughter. She's 8 going on 9, and then I have a son. And the fact that my daughter is going through that preteen stage, I know for a fact that she looks up to me. She watches my every move.
Everything.
And I just make sure that I always tell her that, you're beautiful, that you can do anything.
Right.
We actually have affirmations in her room so she can look at them and feel good about herself as well. Because people out here, I mean, especially with us, African Americans, they will just
take you down,
take these kids down.
And they bully.
I mean,
yeah.
And it's hard out here for them.
And they bully, and it's extremely hard for I have boys and girls, but it's extremely hard for you can be a single parent and you can do the best, like I said, with as being a woman, as with your kids, but it's harder with boys, as a female, and it's a lot of moms that do it. And shout out to them. It's a lot of moms that do it, but it's sometimes like I say that because I had Jay Kelly. Make sure you go vote for him, Ward 7, that's coming up this week. And TJ Walker, they are doing the We Fit program.
Okay.
And that consists of the young men.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that we need something. I know, think Tammy Archer, shout out to her, she does things with the young ladies and stuff. We need more programs for that.
Exactly.
Because, people look at, with the young men, they gotta, they need more structure. And most time they do, but you got some young ladies that need structure as well.
Yes, they do.
And you never know what somebody's background is or what
Right.
they're going through at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this is like, with being a counselor, you can't, you can't predict what nobody goes through, but I think that, that we need more of that. And I think, I know you were saying that there was something you might want to get into, to try to start that or whatever.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into that because, I mean, the rate that some women go into, I don't know, not all the girls, but there's some women out there that are just selling everything. You get what I'm saying? Or just,
they get a lot from TV too now.
Exactly.
TV is, they
I
get a lot
make
from
sure,
TV.
man, my daughter don't watch half the stuff unless she get permission. Cause I'm telling you, I got everything. I mean, I'm watching her phone while she watching it, and then, I mean, I got to look at everything because you never know. It was one time where it was late at night, and I was just, what you watching? It's 3 o'clock in the morning, and she just like jumped up, and I found out what it was. I said, oh no, take me. Like all of this shut down. I just can't do it. So, you just really gotta make sure that you are really in these, especially girls' lives too, because my sister, she got pregnant young, but she made sure that she did what she had to do for her kids, and she went to school as well. And there's a lot of young kids out here too.
I did too. I had my oldest daughter young too, so it's a lot.
And it's nothing wrong with that. As long as you do right by your kids, that's all I care about.
Right.
And if you out here don't care about them, or they out here, they outside somebody else's house, you don't know where they at, and that's a big problem for me.
Yeah.
That's a huge problem for me.
Yeah.
Cause you never know. People out here don't have good intentions.
Right. And I will say that it's been, I don't know how true it is, but every time I turn around on the blogs or, it could be anywhere, I'm seeing stuff about, I don't know how popular it is here, but I'm seeing like the sex trafficking. And stuff about that, and I also was seeing stuff about at Walmart, stuff happening at the local Walmart. I personally, I try not to go in there, but I mean, Walmart's where everybody goes, So I mean, it's more or less like, stuff is happening everywhere with females, and a lot of people don't speak on it. We can speak on what the guys are doing, because we don't want them getting with the wrong crowd. We don't want the young men gangbanging. We don't want this, we trying to break down the violence and stuff like that or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a lot of things that, like I said, females need to know too,
And that's why I'm glad that I have my husband. My husband's very aware about stuff like that. He don't play that. And what he has taught me is that, like, and this could be for anybody, when you go to a Walmart, if there is a parking space between the cart section where you put the carts back and another car, park there, because it'll be harder for somebody to come try to snatch you up if you're right there instead of in between 2 cars, because you never know.
Right.
And always to be aware. He always makes sure.
Surroundings.
Exactly.
My husband said the same.
I mean,
I always used to wear your surroundings and watch everything. Like, he on everything. He on me about it.
He make sure I got mace. I got
me too.
You take it's you in the mirror, my daughter. He's like, y'all make sure y'all wear because these people out here are. I mean, they'll snatch somebody up, especially these young girls. Especially these young girls too. They got a little something going on. So
and I'm glad you brought that up, because a lot of I have one myself. So a lot of these girls is not built like
they used to be.
No, it ain't. Not at all. It's a lot going on. So you gotta be cautious of the clothing and where they're going, and like who they're talking to. It's a lot, because a lot of I always say, and I even say at home with my kids, I say, it got to be some in the chicken. I don't know,
milk,
something. Because they're not like what their age is supposed to look like, and then some just look a different age because they can, and that's not that's not good. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
you don't want, when you got your older men, and we do have them. I don't care how nobody look at me. It's honest. You know what I'm saying? So we do have those older men, those people that's looking at people.
Yep.
Even when you, that's why I say you got to be aware of your surroundings.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the fact that they're growing at a faster rate, with their bodies and everything, they're being introduced to sexuality and everything early, very early.
Yeah.
So that's why it's just essential that you have to be in their lives like all the time. And my daughter knows, like, she can't tell me nothing. She can say somebody messed with her, somebody plucked her. It don't matter. Like, what happened? Who is it? Like, that's me. I'm always there.
I need the teacher, the mama, the granddad, the grandma.
Thank you.
That's me.
Hey, where they at? Where's my at?
On go. And that's what we do for our kids.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's just parenthood.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, as far as if we could come together as women, and they have a lot of like women empowerment sessions and different stuff, and it's a lot of strong independent women out here. But if we could come together,
it will make it better.
Yeah. Instead of this person, they over here in this corner, this person over here in this corner, and then they worried about, okay, well, Keisha got this going on, and this Judy got this going on, instead of just saying, well, let's link up, let's do this, or let's build an empire for the young ladies. They might not have nowhere to go, or might not want to go to friends' houses, or might not have that many family members, where you can try to build a relationship and rapport with them, as young women.
The way I grew up was everybody knew everybody in the neighborhood. If I'm outside and I'm not doing something right, that neighbor down the street called my aunt or called my mama, and like, oh, what you doing? And that's after they get on me. So that's what I'm used to. And I want that community. We need it. We really need it.
We do need it. And you probably do still got some of that, but most of it is. It's probably like where I grew up at in the country of Nashville, and so everybody, ain't nobody moving, ain't nobody, everybody, that's where they at, and that's where they gonna live here from. Right? They know everybody. Like that's just country living. In Rocky Mountain, it may be a little different. You know what I'm saying? Because some people don't want to say nothing. Because one thing we got is you can't whoop the kids. Like, and that as a parent kills me, because it's more or less like, okay, well, something's gonna go wrong. This person gonna say this, this person gonna say that. But me, I'm older. I grew up with, I didn't know nothing but whoop.
Yeah.
That's me. Yeah. And you know how you go out there, you pick a little bit of switch?
Yeah.
And then when you come in, your mama, your daddy mad.
Yeah.
Because you done picked a little switch. So now you're in more trouble because they have to get a whole nother one.
Yep. And they get the strongest one they can find.
They do. And it'd be like a whole branch, a whole tree trunk.
Yep.
Yeah, so they don't, but they don't like that now.
And if you don't, I'm not going to say automatically whoop your kids. I'm just saying, if you don't discipline them at a young age or put them or make them into a better person at a young age, they'll start talking back to you. They start cussing you out. Yeah. And I mean, you can't control them. You can't control them in school. And that's just how stuff starts. It starts at the beginning.
Yeah. And more or less, daughters and females, they'll do, they, not just daughters and females, but boys too. They're gonna try.
They gonna try.
Like they really gonna mess with dad. They because he ain't playing all that.
Yeah.
But with moms, like you gotta say something 20 times.
Yeah.
And like me, I let build up until I get like mad and I'm right here.
Right. And then
I'm like, okay, now don't do that. I said, well, my husband come in and say so and so. They're like, oh, okay. Like it's like army stuff. Like, okay.
It's so loud.
And it makes you so mad.
Yeah. You be like, I done scream talking about love. You come in with your one word and they like straighten up. Yeah, my son, he's almost 4, and I'm starting to see that a little bit. Yeah. Where
so you ain't got nowhere yet.
Girl, I know and I already know the fact he gonna give me run for my money. Yeah. But like he'll do little stuff now where I'm like, Quentin Jr., I call him Man, that's his dad gave him that nickname. Man, stop doing that. And then he'll look at me, Quentin and I, he'll inch and start doing some more, and I'm like, I keep telling him. And then as soon as my husband quit, he's just like, stop or whatever, and he just like, oh, nobody loves me or something.
I gotta play the victim role.
Man, I was like, how you 4 and you got that victim card and you mommy won't play with me anymore. And then I was just like, get out of here. That's because that's one of my first loves. I ain't gonna say my husband my first love.
Right.
My favorite. That's my other love.
No disrespect, Quinn.
No,
It's okay,
Like,
yeah, but and the boys are always mama's boys. Like
Yeah.
they mama's boys. It's just the way it is. I don't know.
yeah,
It's how it is.
it's how it is. Parenting it's a ride, but it's worth it.
That relationship in
definitely.
there is, it is. Like I said, when we said about self-worth and women and young ladies or whatever, got to know what they're worth, especially even when they get to relationships and things like that. A lot of things can happen to people as a young child, where they deal with things that they shouldn't have dealt with.
Yeah.
And then they kind of carry it on and think that's the way that life is supposed to be. So I think, it's a good idea to be able to try to get something. And like I said, I know that, like I said, shout out to Tamara Archer again, that she was doing something like trying to, like bond building with girls or whatever. But I think it would be nice to get, a lot of women on board for that.
Definitely. A lot of women go through a lot of things. Not in part of my life. I know a couple people who have been through like abusive relationships. I know a lot of people who have just been in domestic, physical, verbal, everything. And just to having that community of having women that you can go to and talk to about, that'd be great.
And trust, cause that'd be a lot. Somebody you can trust and you can, you can say, okay, well I just want to vent to them, and it's gonna stay like it's staying here.
And it's sad because nowadays people feel like they can't trust nobody out here.
Absolutely.
And you gotta keep yourself. That all your stuff to yourself,
you do.
That just builds a lot of mental issues and stuff.
Yes, it does.
It does. You have to be able to vent to someone.
And it leads you to a mental breakdown.
Girl,
it will.
I know. My sister was that person for me. And it was a point before I met my husband where, me and her didn't talk at that time as much. But when she started to get sick, we kind of mended our relationship a little bit more.
Right.
But she's always been that person where I could just call up and be like, Gina, like, this and this happened. How do I get through this and how do I get through that? She has that beautiful spirit.
Right.
And just having somebody in your life like that just makes a huge, huge difference. And a lot of women don't want to go to, like, family members.
Right.
They don't want to go to people they feel like they're going to judge them or anything like that. You want to have a safe haven, a safe space where you be able to express yourself.
Yeah. And that's a big part of it, too. A lot of people don't feel like they got somebody that can actually, they can close in with them, you know what I'm saying, and not be worried about
or relate.
2 weeks later, okay. But then, like I said, when you do, if this comes together, then it can, it maybe can help. I mean, it could be little things, taking girls getting nails done, or taking getting a spa day, or just having. Something like taking them out to eat or to the movies, and then just, sometimes meeting up with them, having meet and greets with them and stuff like that. I mean, I think that would be dope. I mean, just as far as, because like I said, the guys, they already, they kind of more adamant about them, but you don't have as many, like I said, trying to do what you're trying to do, as far as with the women.
So I'm starting off now. I just did this last year. I'm actually a co-leader for a Girl Scout troop.
Okay.
My daughter's Girl Scout troop 667. So I'll put that out there. But they're young girls still. They're in like kindergarten up to 3rd grade. And just be able to be in their co-leader, they look up to me. We get to do fun stuff and get to talk and stuff. And I plan to actually stay with Girl Scouts or any type of program where I'm able to make a difference.
Right.
Up until they get older. I want them to be able to know me like, Miss Lena was there and she's been here since I graduated high school. She helped change my life and this and the other. And that's how I look at it with my aunt. She changed so many lives out there.
Because you can have 400 people, but if you just change one.
Just one.
That's all that matters, and I'm adamant about that. You could just, and I mean, you would like to do all 400, but that's just not. That's not possible. It's just impossible, so I mean, you could just do one, I think, that helps a lot.
It does. And then you're also teaching them that you be able to do anything you want to do.
Right.
So, like, just a little background too, along with Legs Pizza and Catering, we also do financial services. We help people with annuities, with life insurance, with all different types of aspects. And then on top of that, I'm actually a scientist at a pharmaceutical plant. So I went to school for a long time. So
what do you mean? Y'all making drugs?
Yeah, I do. But yeah. So I actually had my bachelor's in biology, minor in chemistry.
Okay.
So I focused a lot on that, and I just went into the scientific field. I worked at Novo Nordisk for Siemens Copy. I'm getting ready to start Pfizer. Shout out. Yeah, doing that, and then also I got a master's in business management. So I mean, for girls, I've talked to a lot of women that are like my age, maybe a little younger, where they're like, I can't add no more to my plate, or I can't do that because I'm tired. I don't want to do this and do that, or I can't do this. Like that's a lot. I can't.
Yeah.
And when I sit there and look back on my life, I'm like, I sit here and I went through all of this and I accomplished all this. You can too.
Right.
So being able to be that type of person in somebody else's life so that they know that they can become whoever they want to be. Right. Is needed. I see.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, instead of I can't, because sometimes I could have been that person, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have my time. I'm just like, I can't do this, but it's not, it's just, I'm not able to at this time.
Right.
But sometimes when you do that, you don't never get to it.
Right.
It's just like when, going to school.
Mm-hmm.
Then you be like, okay, well, we just going to take this year off and then come back. It's been 4 years and you still ain't went where you're supposed to be going.
Right. I did that for 5 years. I didn't go to school right after, most people get out of college, they go right back into school and get their master's. It took me like 5 years to do that. Well, it's just fine. But I actually did it while I was pregnant. And I had a newborn. So I was in school while I was giving birth to. So it's
a lot.
It
is. It's a lot. And it took, for me, basically, like I said, I had my oldest at a young age. And, I didn't get to complete and finish high school at the time. Not because of my daughter, but because of something I was doing. I had no business doing, and I got kicked out. So, that don't make me a bad person.
No, of course not.
Sometimes you got the bullet situation, so you got to, and I got kicked out. So, it took, and I would give them credit because it took my husband to push me and say, hey, like, you got to go, you need to go back to school, and you're smart and you this, you need to go back to school and, get your GED. And it took me years. I probably was right at 30, maybe, when I done it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And went back to school, because at the time he was in barbering.
Okay.
He was already in, college. So I went back, got my stuff, and from there went to cosmetology, and I got my GED. As soon as I got that cosmetology, and I don't want to do no hair now. I'm just saying, for the hair. Shout out to the hairdressers and everybody that's doing natural and everything else. But I just, baby, I can't. I got too many girls. So like from having to do my girls' hair and doing up until like they tell you now, Mama ain't doing no hair now. Like you figure your own stuff out, but I just got to the point where it's like went through cosmetology, done it all. Got my notary, got a lot of stuff accomplished and done. But with me, I had to be pushed. That's why I say, and that's why I keep bringing it up, because I give my husband credit for that, because he did, he'll be the one, well, you can do this and you can do it, and I'll be like, I don't want to do it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say about females and young people, and my kids will get me too. My older ones, or whatever. Well, Mom, you can, do this or do that or whatever. And I just be sitting back like, oh, I don't want to.
It is good. It's so good to have people around you that see more of you than you see yourself. Because they're able to push you. They're able to, give you that initiative to be like, I can do this. And that's what a lot of girls need, and some women and some ladies do lack that.
Right.
It's a blessing when you have that. I just love that whole situation. That's beautiful.
Even with and I don't have to, I don't tell my story. But at the end of the day, even with this was all my husband idea. It's you like to talk. You like social. You like this. You like that. Right. Like you should do. We're gonna do this. You should do this. Do this. You know what I'm saying? And I thank him for it, because I have met so many people that I know and didn't know, so many amazing people. And when you look back on it, just in a little bit of time that I started with just this podcast, I have met like, people that you can network with and you can use, and you know what I'm saying, and you can try to promote them as well as myself, in just that short amount of time. Just like with you all, I know I didn't get my egg rolls yet, y'all. It's a husband fault, but I'm gonna slide this time. Just with the handmade and the homemade pizzas, and from me having artists here, and just with having food truck people and people that I can say, okay, well, hey, look, I know somebody can do this. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's a good platform,
Yep,
that I'm thankful that I do have now, because it's something that me personally, I probably wouldn't.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have done. And then to have some people, whether nobody probably don't know this, but to have, for me just to be like in the second week or so, and then have people, when somebody say, okay, well, hey, I'm trying to get on the podcast, and I have my people that's already been with me say, well, hey, they mention my name. I really appreciate it. I love you all, because you could have said anybody, but you did say me. So I really appreciate that.
Yes,
too.
definitely.
Yeah. So and you have some big news today. Before we end, you have some big news. You was gonna, we got to get that out there.
Oh, okay, so definitely. So yeah, my husband and I, like we said, we're actually opening up our restaurant down here on downtown off of Main Street. That should be open towards, I would say around November, towards the end of the year, at the latest beginning of next year. So that's definitely going on. And then of course we also have our financial services that we do. And I mean, that's pretty much it.
And then also, if you have someone, someone that is interested in, them coming out to talk about the financial services or annuities or life insurance, you can hit Lena Riley up, you can hit his wife up, because I have now, my mother-in-law actually wants you all to come to her church, and just talk to talk to people about it.
Yeah.
And like I said, some of the people that don't know.
They don't.
So,
Especially us, we don't know about stuff like that. And
especially a younger generation.
Exactly. Another reason why we definitely got into this, I know personally for me, my sister did pass away, like I said. At that time, I don't think she had insurance at that time. And all of this was unexpected. She got sick and died within 2 years. So we had to hurry up and get stuff in place. But when you're young and you are out here and you making a little change, just put a little bit aside where you have a coverage for yourself. Because you never know what happens. A lot of people that are our age or younger, they think they have decades or years to come to live and just get stuff done. They put it back on the back burner, but that's not the case. You got people, especially in Durham, you got young kids out here that are dying at 14, 15.
And it's just, and here too, it's young people that, just a lot of people that I went to school with, or, they didn't even make it to see the age I am now.
Exactly.
And you can remember them from doing this in school or doing that, or knowing them from seeing them here. And then, and a lot of it, you just don't want to be that person that's got to do a GoFundMe.
Exactly. Or fish fries.
And you play sales and stuff like that. And granted, some people are not ready. They're not. Nobody's expecting it. Nobody knows today. When it comes to that or whatever. But I say it's called basically trying to set your future up.
You have to.
Just so you'll be covered and you don't got to worry about. Cause it's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
A lot of stress, and it'll put a lot on you. You know what I'm saying? When you got to deal with a loved one, or you got to deal with anything with financial stability, it'll put a stress on anything. It'll put a stress on friendship, marriage. It'll put a stress on anything.
Yeah, it's very essential that you do that. I had a friend of mine who, just last year, she actually passed away from COVID, and she was a year younger than me. I'm 31. She was like 29, 30 years old.
Man.
And she died from COVID. Yes, ma'am. And other complications. Least expected. Yeah. But when you don't set yourself up for the future, you don't know. I know what's going to happen to me than just to leave my life and everything else in somebody else's hands. And I'm thrown out there somewhere. Right. So it's very essential. But I am blessed, and I am so grateful that I'm on this podcast. I got invited to Queen Events, the Underrated podcast, and I'm thankful that she had me today, and I'm able to pour out to other people, and especially if you know of any young women who are who wanted some mentoring, you know, kids that may need mentoring. My husband and I are here as well. We love changing lives. I mean, we actually donate to different places like Sisterhood. I mean, to different places that have people who need clothes, who need food, who need toys. I mean, I got tons of stuff. You need some diapers and stuff for your kids, I got that too. So.
Right, but it's a lot of people that may need help, but they don't want to ask for it.
They don't want to ask for it.
And that's bad, you know, just they don't want to ask for it because they don't want to look that different. But at one point in time, somebody gonna need help with something. Like, I don't, you're not perfect, not just women, it could be men, it could be kids, it could be anyone, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, some people, granted, you do got some, they'll take advantage of some stuff.
Yeah, they do.
But they do. I'm being honest now. If you don't like honesty, then you with the wrong podcast.
Yeah.
I just, you know, but you do got some that actually they do need. You know, they do, and they don't want to ask for it. They try to ask for it. You know, you want to ask for it in secret because you're so worried about
how you looked at to somebody else.
We're so worried about judgment instead of someone trying to just do it from their heart. You know, and just uplift each other.
And my main thing is too, I'm not, you know, if there's a mom and she got kids that are struggling, my main thing is I want to make sure the kids are good.
Kids are good.
You know, whatever you may feel about whatever, that's fine. But as long as the kids are good, that's all I care about. Yeah, definitely. So.
Yeah, so, you got anything else you want to say?
Shout
out.
Like I said, I want to shout out my amazing husband. I love you, Quinn. My kids. I want to shout out my mom, my family, my aunts, these beautiful, strong women that I grew up with. And I shout out to all of the amazing young women that are coming up after me. I really appreciate it.
With that being said, everyone, like I said, this is my first segment with the ladies. So like I said, she's my first lady of the Underrated Podcast. And you know, we just really wanted to uplift women today.
Yes.
The best way that we knew how, because nobody is perfect. Nobody is, you know, a lot of people don't know what women, and not just women, I don't want to just discriminate against them, you know, but men too don't know what people go through on a day-to-day basis. So us as, you know, as us coming together, it could be awesome. Just, you know, if everybody come as one. Not 2, 3, 4, because that's what we do. We standing on this fence and this fence, so we can get so much accomplished for the younger generation, because our generation now that's coming up, they need a lot of guidance, you know, and like I said, you could be the best parent, you know, even relationship, you could be the best wife, the best husband, but you know, the generation and the times now are totally different from when, you know, us as older people came up. So with that being said, if you know someone, if you are someone, and you know that they are a big asset to the community, they could be doing, it doesn't matter what they're doing, not to me, you know, anything that you're doing out here is very important, no matter how you look at it. How you know, self-entrepreneurs, or when the people that are giving back organizations, and like I said, shout out to We Fit, because they're doing an amazing job with the young men. So, you know, and with Tammy Archer, shout out to her as well, because, you know, she's working with the young ladies. And, you know, everybody needs help, everybody needs guidance, but somebody, you know, is out there that don't get the credit that they deserve. That's what the podcast is for. So you can email me, I am Queen Avent. You can email me at queenavent4911@gmail.com. I'm also on TikTok at Queen Avent. Spotify is Queen Avent Underrated Podcast, as well as my YouTube. Please make sure you go subscribe and like that. And I want to give a shout out to the people that I have already had on my podcast. You know, I thank you all so much for supporting me. And I want to shout out my husband. If you need car fixed, if you need to purchase a car, you know, just holler at Reese the Great. You know, it's Maurice Avent. M&K is Great Auto. If you need clothes, I got a party coming up on Saturday. If you're free, come out. Aroma Bistro and Bar. Also, you can come shop with me. M&K is Great Bargain Shop. And I just want to say that, you know, after July the 25th, I'm going to put it out there. I actually was asked to be in a movie.
Okay.
You know, you know, I'm kind of excited about it. So, you know, with that being said, I also was asked, if you do know someone, since I'm talking about it, you know, shout out to shout out to Jeff Illuminati, you know, production, movies, everything, artists or whatever. Shout out to Big Blanco, artists. Just if you know somebody, I think I'm gonna need about 4 or 5 girls that you're interested in, you know, participating, being in a movie, and you know, getting yourself out there and just getting exposure. You know, and us as African American women coming together to do something that people been doing for so long. You know, you can hit me up as well. And with that being said, I am Queen Avent. This is episode 7, Underrated Podcast. Stay tuned for tomorrow, episode 8. I'm not gonna say who I'm having. It's not gonna be nothing like today tomorrow, y'all. I will say that. Tomorrow gonna be something else. You know, it's gonna be something else tomorrow. So, you know, make sure you tune in to Queen Avent Underrated Podcast. And with that being said, I love you all, and we out.
All right.